I'm Bonnie Beresford, Account Director at BBDO Detroit's Retail Performance Solutions Group. We're the training agency of record working with Chrysler Academy. My role is to work with them on learning strategy and measurement. Like many industries, the automotive industry is under extreme cost pressure, and Chrysler is no exception. So this is the story of how Chrysler Academy, the retail training organization for Chrysler, sought to prove the value of training to our tough stakeholders within corporate and at the dealerships. Trying to prove that training works was not going to be a simple project. We began in 2005 by looking at our key performance indicators, sales volume, customer satisfaction, and employee retention, and then aligned our curriculum with these KPIs because we wanted to be sure that the training we delivered was in fact designed to impact the business results. By 2007, we were ready to start measuring. Now we wanted to see if we were getting the business results we were hoping for. The trained sales consultants outsold the untrained ones by 35 cars a year. We were excited. However, we had some skeptics because the dealerships and our management were naturally saying, it can't possibly be your training. It's a good manager, a good location, hot product, great advertising. The guy's a natural winner. In order to make those 35 units credible, we needed to isolate how much of that was really attributable to training. And I knew we needed help. This was a big statistical project and we didn't have the horsepower to do it. So I contacted some of my colleagues at International Society for Performance Improvement who turned me on to Capital Analytics, a company who does just that. They use statistical methods and good business acumen to get to these kinds of gnarly questions. I compare what they do to a clinical drug test where you're trying to find out the impact of the drug. Is it your genetics? Is it your eating habits? Is it your weight? Is it your sleeping? Or is it the drug? Trying to look at all those factors to find impact. And that is exactly what we were trying to do. They apply that same statistical modeling to business problems, specifically for human performance interventions. We pulled together data on 33,000 untrained, trained, and partially trained sales consultants so we could compare their performance over time before and after training. We also looked at about 15 different demographic variables that really smart people thought were influencing a sales consultant's performance. Things such as the size of the dealership, the geographic location, rural versus urban, the ratio of managers to sales consultants. And all these things were going into the statistical model, and Capital Analytics was running all these interactions and looking for optimizations and what combinations of things were really driving sales consultant performance. Once all the number crunching was done, we had two really major areas of findings. One was in the sales volume area and the other was in sales consultant retention. From that, we were able to actually isolate now how many units of those 35 were attributable directly to our training. 15.6 of the 35 units. The second major finding was in retention, and we found that training was the #1 predictor of sales consultant retention. Even partially trained consultants are twice as likely to stay at their dealerships than untrained consultants. When you have data and you have results that are grounded in sound statistical analysis, it's amazing the credibility you can get. In fact, we recently won the Chief Learning Officer Business Impact Award for showing the impact of our sales consultant training. While it's nice to get that industry recognition, perhaps it's even more important for us to get that recognition and credibility within our own organization and within Chrysler. And by showing that training drives sales and training drives sales consultant retention, Chrysler's actually taken this a step further, and they've shown that sales consultant retention drives owner loyalty. What this really means for us now is that training has a strategic seat at the table because ultimately training is the driver of that retention that drives the owner loyalty. It's not easy to isolate the impact of training, but if you know what you're shooting for and you can get your hands on the data, there are statistical tools and business partners out there that can help. We're in our third study now with Capital Analytics, and they have made us believers that you can indeed prove and isolate the impact of your training.